You are now listening to the Two Dads Run podcast. Just two dads who run, talking about running, and being dads, and some other stuff.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Two Dads Run podcast. I am Gray.
This is Kevin.
And we are back for another episode. So I know kind of the natural flow of the shows recently have been, there's been some guests on some and not some guests on the others. This is another one where you're stuck with just me and Kevin. And we want to get on people that are, have a compelling story, not just a big name and things like that. And, recently we've been reaching out to some folks and everybody's busy. So you're stuck with us. So you get to hear about my training and the the end of Kevin's juice cleanse. So how's everything been going, Kevin?
I was going to say now, and this is about the time where everybody now puts on their Pandora or whatever. But
I think you should stick around for the end of Kevin's juice cleanse, though. It sounds like that last day was pretty epic. You look a lot better this week, buddy. I will give you that.
Last time we recorded, that was the worst. It was getting to the worst, man. That night was the worst night. So day 2, and I know I'm just being a big little bitch right there.
That's okay.
But it was
because you look like shit. I mean, you were sitting there sweating bullets. It wasn't that hot in here. Pale as I've ever seen you, and I could tell you were absolutely miserable.
I woke up in the middle of the night in sweats and went to his bathroom, and I was green. I was on the verge of throwing up, and literally this was only 2 full days of just juicing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with me? And I felt that I was going through it was like a detox, but I drink probably about 2 or 3 cups of coffee every single morning. And I guess maybe getting all that flushed out and not having any caffeine.
So is that all of your caffeine intake for the day?
Just about. As far as coffee wise,
just caffeine in general.
No, when I go and work out in the afternoon, I might do like a pre-workout drink. But
dude, I can't imagine the caffeine had that. Because that's not that's not a large caffeine intake. It's really not.
So you would think it was crack that I was trying to get off of that.
I was about to say, it sounds like you're having DTs from coming off heroin or something.
It was. I was at the edge of my bed with the pillow between my legs and my head on it, just my head pounding, walking, pacing, 1-2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
Just from fucking 2 days of juice cleansing. And I'm like, this is the easiest thing in the world, but somehow, some weird way, my body's just not doing well. So then day 3 rolled around. I'm like, let me just knock this, let me just knock shit out. So
did you power through day 3?
I did. So you have 6 bottles a day, and I finished bottle 6 pretty damn early, because I said after bottle 6, I mean some damn food now. Yeah. And not to throw the
you just chugged them, got them done by lunchtime, and
it was
I'm going out for margaritas and tacos for dinner.
Well, that was the other thing too, because I would have loved to have some like margaritas and tacos afterwards, but I was still trying to be somewhat smart with what I ate.
I was going to say, bro, that's a recipe for disaster if you had done that.
I would have died. My insides would have just...
You would have been super hammered off like 2 margaritas because you had no food in your stomach at all. And then tacos is the first thing you want to put on an empty stomach.
Yeah, now thinking about it, I probably should have just had the 2 margaritas, because I've been pretty sweet. Like, man.
Feel like you're 18 again.
18, drunk. Definitely in the afternoon. But no, I was still working that day. But yeah, so it all went down. Would I suggest it? I will never do it again. Do I suggest anybody that that's interested in trying?
Yeah,
I may give the shout out to on the episode. I don't want to say their name again.
I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that we will not be getting any love from those guys or gals.
No, it's good shit. Because they're more used for just meal replacements.
Yeah.
And I would definitely do a couple for an entire meal. Like, all right, I'm not going to have lunch. I'm just going to juice for it and do that, versus I'm not going to have any food for 3 days.
Now, do they actively promote a cleanse, like a 3-day cleanse? Or did you guys
it's just like a 3-day reset is what they call. Just naturally after drinking, that much fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Your body's just going to go through the nice healthy change, but you can do so also just by watching what you eat and exercise. And I'll just stick to that since I think I'm more comfortable with that anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I don't blame you. And then you guys went to the beach for a few days, yeah?
we did. We went to Holden Beach in North Carolina. It was neat. Kind of like what you and I were talking about earlier, what you're going to plan on doing for Memorial Day weekend. But we really just took the time to just be as a family, not do much of anything, because our Ironman training, or Patagonia training, is going to be kicking off next week. You know, you're starting your races and you're training in your races. So I want to make sure that I've got time to properly coach you, make sure you know how to swim. And
we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
But life has just been so crazy lately, and we just took the time to just hang out and chill. So
yeah,
that's about it, man. But what about yourself? How, since last time you and I spoke, what's been new? What's been going on?
Yeah, no, Kevin, we need to talk about something. Yesterday, I was spending some time on YouTube, and I stumbled upon a little video about breathing while you're swimming. And I have shared this with multiple people, and every single person, you, Chad, my wife, Kristen, everybody's like, wait, you didn't know that? No. So what I learned about was what they refer to as trickle breathing, but it's essentially, letting the air out from your nose and your mouth while your head's in the water. And then, so you've expelled all of your breath before you, go up to take another one. Had no idea this thing existed. No clue. So I'm swimming through the water sounding like a fucking whale. Probably embarrassing myself to no end. Even worse than, barely being able to make it to one end of the pool and to the other. And I was beside myself that I didn't know this. This continues to be, without a doubt, the most humbling athletic endeavor I've ever taken on. I'm not used to being this terrible at stuff, and it's really kind of killing me. But keep at it, man. I'm going 3 times a week, trying to build some swim endurance, and because today was by far the worst day I've had in the pool, except for that first one, which
But I want to hear real quick before we move on. So I've yet to see you swim, and I'm going to be helping you with your training program and making sure, again, you can get to the finish line. So I'm very excited to see what your swim is, and just so curious. So the breathing part, yes, you do have to breathe. So what did your breathing look like when you were swimming prior to watching a YouTube video on how to swim?
So, I mean, it was literally right arm comes up in the air, you tilt the head, expel the breath, take another one in, head back in the water, right arm comes around again, repeat cycle. So I was basically holding my breath for each stroke.
And you would breathe on every stroke? Or you still do you breathe on every stroke?
Every stroke with the right arm.
Okay.
So I don't even know the terms yet. So I don't know if that counts as every stroke or every other stroke.
Every swim stroke.
Yeah.
Just
So because the
in case
girl
somebody hopped on and didn't know what they were talking about.
Also fun little tidbit from today's training. I show up to the pool. The entire freaking swim team is there. So already I'm like, oh, this is gonna be phenomenal.
How old are they?
Oh no, these were older. I mean,
okay, they're like 16 and up,
at
not
least,
like the 8-year-olds.
No,
because that'd even be even funnier.
Oh yeah, no, that would
because they can actually swim their ass off too.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. So these kids were just, cruising right along, and it was also my first time. So I have to sign up for either single lane, which is somehow never available, but yet there's never anyone there. So either people are booking these times, and
it's like a reservation.
Yeah, you have to reserve all your lanes.
Screw that.
Yeah. So, and you can only do it in 30-minute increments, and they have either a single lane option or a shared lane. But like I said, the single lane's never freaking available. Even 2 days in advance, 6 o'clock in the morning, 1:00 in the afternoon, doesn't matter. They're never available. And I've never seen anyone else in those lanes.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
So you people are horrible human beings. You're booking stuff and you're not even showing up for them, number one. So I've usually gotten the shared lanes and it hasn't been an issue because there's never anyone else. I've never shared a lane with anybody. So in addition to the entire swim team being there today, I had to share a lane for the first time. So I told her right off the bat, I was like, look, dude.
Her or is it a guy?
It was a her, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, look, dude is an all-inclusive term for me. So I was like, look, dude, I'm just going to tell you now, I'm horrible at this. I will do my best to stay out of your way. She's like, do you want to split the lane? Or I was like, I don't know what that, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And she was like, I stay on the right side, you stay on the left side. I was like, well, yeah. What's the alternative there? And she's like, you do like a circle swim. I was like, yeah, I don't know what that means either. So I'm sure I could figure it out, but yeah.
She's
so
like,
it was,
what about kiddie pool?
yeah,
You know
it was a disaster. So luckily she had done some long swims before, but it had been a long time. So she, was not a really super strong swimmer either. Now the dude that got in the pool at the end of my time, yeah, that guy was having none of my nonsense. I mean, he was like,
So you had to share it. So then were you done by the time that next guy came in?
Thank God.
Okay.
Because
so
if I had
didn't
more
have to
time,
share
I
the
would have
lane?
gotten out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can't swim next
So
to
then it
you.
would have been 3 people in the same lane then?
No, they
have
cap it
to?
at 2.
Okay.
She left because she left a little early because she had been there for the session before as well. So she had blocked an hour and she had already done her mile swim. She made sure to tell me before she got out of the pool.
Yeah. I feel like that's what triathletes do.
Yeah. This dude shows up. Well, and she had an Inside Out Sports water bottle. So I knew she was likely a triathlete.
So she's like, well, at least I know I can beat this guy.
Yeah. She's like, I'm beating this asshole in September. No problems there.
She walked out like, honey, guess what?
Yeah. And so then this other dude comes out and he is a freaking dolphin. So I was like, yeah, it's time for me to go.
No, it's like you said, it's very humbling. And swimming too, and I think I might have said this already, maybe even twice, but you can't judge a swimmer by their body because I've seen some big out of shape guys before. And like you mentioned, the dolphin, you're like, my goodness.
Yeah.
How in the world are you flying through the water so fast? But it's technique, dude. It's technique.
It's unbelievable. And yeah, she made a point to say that too. I was like, I got some buddies that taught me into doing triathlon. I'm a runner, not a swimmer. And she's like, yeah, swimming takes a lot of technique. It's not just power and, brute strength like running. I was like, what running are you watching?
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah.
So you met a friend.
Yeah. I guess you could say that.
Yeah. That's cool.
It was an interesting time. So I was not feeling great about myself because, the session before I had been able to go 100 meters once and one go there. And then it was all 50s after that. And I never had to stop in a 50 or anything. And I had to a couple times today. I think it was probably in my head a little bit. I was trying my new breathing technique that I learned on YouTube. Shout out to Global Triathlon Network's YouTube channel. Spent a lot of time on that bad boy yesterday. So tried that out. Had also realized that I had my head too far up in the water and was trying to correct that technique flaw. And I think it was too many corrections at one time. So much water in my mouth and nose. And as soon as that happened, freak out, done.
Oh, really?
Lap over. Yeah. It was, I'd try to get it out, but it like as soon as it got into my nose or my mouth, I was done. So I got to get over that, but
yeah. And I because I know how you are when it comes to training for running, but again, for swimming, if there's any swim coaches that are listening, but just to even hear what you were just saying, that too many things that I was focusing on and correcting. That'll happen every single time.
Yep.
So you go in there with, 2, maybe 3, but I'd say for you right now, go in, focus on 2 things. Your workout, the bulk of your workout should just be focusing and improving on just those 2 things because of that, because the sport is completely mental.
Yeah.
For the most part. Granted, for your case for a while, it's going to be physical, but when you know that you can just keep a, very steady pace, it's.
Yeah. And it's definitely like Chad laughed at me, but I brought it up that I was already kind of like, how in the hell am I going to swim that far in September? It just seems right now it seems impossible that I'm going to be able to swim 1,150 meters without stopping.
Are you going to Wrightsville Beach anytime soon this summer, you think, prior to September?
Oh yeah. I'll definitely go this summer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even if it's just me and you driving down for the weekend or whatever and just go swim. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to do that. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. I've got a friend. She actually lives right there near the Johnny Mercer Pier there in Wrightsville.
Oh, that must suck for her. Jesus.
I mean, it's
what a tough life.
So she and I met in San Francisco when I did the Escape from Alcatraz. Actually, she and her family were on the same plane, and I had traveled with my dad, so my dad was like my support person, and we had hopped off the plane, and she had asked if I was doing the race, and I was like, yeah, and then asked her, and she's like, yeah, I'm doing it too. Got my whole family here, and being in San Francisco at the time didn't know anybody, especially from North Carolina that I was going, but we just randomly talked briefly at the luggage claim, and she was like, hey, I've got a friend that we're going to do a swim in the Pacific Ocean tomorrow morning. You want to go? And so I did that, met her friend, and it was pretty cool. But we've been friends ever since. We've kept in contact, and so she has a place there, and her husband has a boat down there. So maybe, and they actually have a swim. I forgot what the race or the loop is, what it's called there, but they have one there, and it's pretty neat. So lots of swimmers that we can go.
Yeah.
And if anybody else is interested in going to Wrightsville Beach with Gray and Kevin to practice this,
be some entertainment
definitely
for
hit
sure.
us up and message us. As you can see, it'll be from all levels of swimming.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that.
So, but anyways, we can definitely make that happen.
Well, and I had to redeem myself too.
But I want you to see it though.
I went out. I was going to get up and go running this morning, but as something a topic that we're going to cover in this episode, is the mental load of everything that's been happening. And we've talked about it a little bit before, is how we juggle. We've talked to it just some of our guests and, some of our elite athletes that we've spoken to, about how you juggle your life and training and career and all this, that, and the other. And how do you handle all of that, both physically and mentally. So we're going to get to that, but I felt like I had to redeem myself from a subpar swim. I mean, they're all subpar at this point, but you
getting out there,
you get the idea.
You
get the idea. So I had to go for a run because I didn't do it this morning. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go pick up Sophie from daycare and bring her home, and I'm going for a run. And it felt really good. It was hot as balls. I mean, It was like 85 degrees today. But, I got in just shy of 5.5 miles, like 7:30 a mile.
You fucking hurt yourself.
It felt really good.
And that's it. You're coaching yourself to.
I will say though, I mean, seriously, over the last 6 months, my legs have never felt this good in the last 6 months. With all the cross training that's happening, the bike and the swimming, and even I don't kick much during the swim, but I mean, dude, my legs feel amazing. My heart rate's through the freaking roof, but that's kind of par for the course, as we discussed last week.
Yeah.
But man, it feels good.
Well, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, so fun fact, and I don't know if I'm the only person that's been affected by this, but Map My Run, the app, did an update somewhat recently. And ever since that, it has been an absolute disaster. Should show you my splits from today's run.
Oh, yeah.
Mile 1, 9 minutes. Not a chance. Mile 2.
Are they partnered with Under Armour?
Yeah.
Because I was...
that's been that way forever.
My opinion, I would never... there you go. I guess that, hey, look, I know there's things like shoes and other stuff that we like vouch for.
Their running shoes are
I'm saying Matt My Run, but with Under Armour. It was the shittiest app because I needed to track my ultra marathon, and I was looking at different trackers, and that Race Joy one ended up being, I think, the best one. That was the name of it, right? Yeah, Race Joy.
Race Joy. Well, and I mean, Matt My Run has its uses, and it's been fine in the past. Like, I've never had any issues with it, but my last 2 runs have been an absolute, the tracking has just been crazy.
Yeah.
It was off by like half a mile. The paces were all over the place. I am choking on something. It is killing me.
I thought you were going to start crying on this.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it.
So, needs to say, Matt, and there he is. I don't think we're going to be able to edit that off, but.
No, sorry. Good luck with that, Hollister.
Under Armour, Matt My Run is definitely bringing you to tears. And
yeah, see what you're doing to me, Matt My Run. You're screwing up my running, stats and stuff here. So yeah, but it had some of my miles at 4:03. Seriously, bro, 4:03. I'm 38 years old. I'm not Nick Willis, and it was 85 degrees out there.
Yeah, no, I'm loving the hot weather. So
what? Why?
Well, what? One, because we're at freaking sea level, and that's training in this humid environment. This is going to be the only thing that's going to help me with
I'm not
this race.
Running a race in Chile or wherever you're going, okay?
It's not sea bass where you're like Chilean sea bass. It's Chile. But because you say Chile. Unless you want to talk like, I guess, the locals, Chile.
Yeah, we won't even go there.
Santiago, Chile.
Yes. Aren't you a little Hispanic?
Just because I'm not from fucking Chile. Yeah.
I used to know a girl from Chile.
So yeah,
we won't go there.
Yeah, my mom's from Panama, which is several countries further up north in Chile. So you know what? Let's talk about, because you and I were also discussing earlier before we met up tonight. Just kind of be in the same boat.
Yeah.
Don't want to necessarily use the word exhaustion, but with everybody that we've spoken to, has kind of been around the same. We've had some of the same questions to ask, because it's been kind of neat to hear how one elite athlete is able to juggle their life and everything going on with another one. But there was a word that every single person had said, which was present, being present in if it's the one thing that they're doing that day, or if it's the 5 things, and then not to necessarily beat yourself up when one of those things can't be necessarily attended to. Like Kiera D'Amato, I remember hearing her voice as far as, that if it's family time and I can't get to my run, well, I can't get to my run. But if I got to get up at 4 a.m. to do my run so I can be with family, then I got to get up 4 a.m. And I'm like, I'll tell you, that's what's been playing in my head over the last week. But, we can go back and forth with it, but what's been going on, and how have you been kind of playing, these words to yourself?
Yeah, no, so with Kiera, it was, her thing was, it's not if I'm going to run anymore, to win. So that's kind of what I've been trying to hold myself to with the training piece of it. But, it's just, even Kristen, my wife Kristen, came up to me, or we were talking today, and she was like, yeah, I can tell that you're a little frazzled. And I think it's just everything coming together. So we had, the big birthday weekend. And so we had Mother's Day weekend. And then the following weekend, we had Charlotte's birthday thing that you guys came out for. The weekend prior to that, the weekend prior to Mother's Day, we had this family reunion thing. And, what do they call it? Celebration of life for one of my grandmothers that had passed away. the year before. So that was a lot of, that was really cool to get to see some of my family that I hadn't seen in a while. Took Charlotte fishing for the first time. That was awesome. But there's just been so much going on. And I've just felt like I had so many balls in the air, so to speak. And, it had kind of gotten to the point where I was like, okay, something's got to give. And I think we all kind of get there in some way every once in a while. But I'm really looking forward to this upcoming weekend. We have nothing planned. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to take off an extra day from work. I do have to work a little bit on Monday, but such is life in the food business. Mm-hmm. But, I'm just going to hang out, probably have several adult beverages and just kind of veg, man. Of course, hopefully we can get out for a ride or something here soon. And, but yeah, I'm not going to do much of anything. And I think it's going to be a big help. I really do. Because, my patience level right now is non-existent.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad because I, kind of get a little snappy with the girls and things like that over stuff that usually would not even register on my radar. But now I'm like,
yeah,
about the smallest little things. So I think that's what Kristen picked up on was, dude, chill out, man. So.
Well, that's good that you're able to recognize that. And, when we, when we took on this, as far as, hey, let's transform what we've been talking about for a long time into something consistent now into our life. And now, work has always been there and work's been always very demanding. And, just like with anything that we do, we want to put our best effort in, if our name's attached to it, we want to, kick some ass with it. And sometimes who ends up suffering the most is the people that support us the most is our family. And then we get snippy with them all the time. And, there's a little note on my computer where the girls wrote where they said, "We are sorry, Daddy." Aww. And that's when that was when was pretty much the same point where you were.
That's but really cute.
I had lost my shit. I lost my shit on my daughters, and I felt bad. Meaning that Dad raised his voice pretty loud, and they knew they had messed up too quite a bit, and it just came down to here I am, I've got. Essentially, it's Iron Man distance, but I've got that training going on, got work, got father, husband responsibilities, and, podcast my boy every Tuesday night. I was reaching out to different, just like with anybody that's probably listening is that so much shit that's going on, but really, you really, really, really do have to take the time to just prioritize, and enjoy what we're doing, because if this isn't fun, we're not going to do it. And I think that's kind of been with me is just kind of really taking a look back this past week and really kind of being appreciative of the things that I have and why they're there and how do I continue to keep it going. It's, I just got to continue to be present. I got to be present as a dad, present as a husband, and that's the thing too. If the family's happy, you just feel great to go on a late night training run, or or in your case, being able to venture into a new sport that's now going to require you to be away from your family more. So it's one thing you can't be a badass triathlete and then be a shitty husband and father. It's just I don't see that working.
No, and no one's going to pay me to be a triathlete. So
yeah. Exactly.
And and honestly, the training hours are probably pretty relative compared to a marathon. And people were asking me about, what are you going to, you were talking so much about doing a marathon. I'm like, yeah, and I'm still gonna, but here's the deal. I'm not really all that looking forward to running 40 miles a week in the middle of July and August in North Carolina. That just sounds miserable, right?
Yeah, so, especially when the actual race is until
isn't until November. Yeah. So you're doing the meat of all your training when it's hot as hell here, and that just doesn't sound very good. At least, with triathlons, I can be in a pool or be on a bike going 25, 30 miles an hour or faster. And
nice. 25, 30. Okay.
I've gotten to, what did I say? 29, 28, something
you
like
did?
that. Yeah, man.
Oh, nice. going downhill, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, of course.
So if you're doing that on this trail, are you bullshit? Did you get that?
No, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well,
or at least according to Strava. So we just got done.
Oh, yeah, that's the Map My Run version.
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm joking.
just got done bashing Map My Run.
Strava's all right.
Yeah, I mean it's
Some people bash it. They think it makes it too competitive.
no, and honestly, before I got onto Strava, you can search me if you want. If you guys want to follow me, my name is Gray Rogers on Strava. There can't be many of me.
Super unique.
Yeah. What was the other guy's name we were just talking to that's going to be on the show?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, wait. Yes. If he's listening,
Yeah.
like, man, I want to see these guys. The first thing you're going to do is make fun of the guy. Well,
Sorry,
wait.
dude.
He's good. That's just us. Anyways.
Yeah, especially me. I'm a bit of a ball buster. I mean, Kevin can, and, Kevin was the one dishing it out when we were in high school, but the tables have turned a little bit.
I was not. I was.
You were. Yes, you were. You were a bit of a bully. I'm just kidding.
No, you know what? There are. Again, I was a completely different person from that.
Wow, you can hear the backtracking happening.
I'm just not. I don't even know who that person was.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we'll just. I feel like on what was it? Billy Madison.
Yeah.
So I think the character was played by Steve, Buscemi? Buscemi? Is that how you pronounce his? Buscemi. Who's always in the, like the Adam Sandler movies, where he's the like serial killer sniper, and but he's got this list.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on a list of
You're
a few
probably
people.
And
I think there's a couple of people that I know. I could say their name, and they probably be like, "Yes, you are." So I'm not gonna say their name. I'm just saying I'm so sorry.
Because they're just listening,
I know,
fuming. This
mother. And he's good, dear Buck. Yes, I'm gonna.
Who does he think he is?
But anyways, I don't even know who that person is.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of we got way off track on that one. We
right,
somehow went from talking about
Strava to like Kevin being not a nice person back in the day.
But no, so yeah, it just sounds it's not nearly as daunting as running 40, 50 miles a week. So we'll do that. We'll do triathlons in the fall, race triathlon in the fall, meaning we're training triathlon in the summer. And then we'll just race marathons in the spring.
What'll happen next year is we'll get training started a little sooner for triathlon. So probably when you're finished with, because Boston is in April.
Well, yeah,
I know Boston isn't coming this one,
yeah.
but that's typically kind of how like people.
Yeah, so race marathon in late February, early March.
Take some time off and then get back
into take like a couple weeks, 2 weeks off or whatever, and then get back in it. So I really felt good on the run today, though. It was good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of races, there's a couple. I mean, there was actually this past weekend. I don't know if Adrian and I get down on some Indy 500 just with living in Indianapolis, open wheel.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
But you had the Monaco Grand Prix, and we said that also. But finally getting to watch it, it was pretty damn cool to see the Monaco Grand Prix, to see the Fast 9 for the Indy 500, which was pretty cool. If you haven't watched it or even been, definitely got to go. And then what else was this past? We had 70.3 Chattanooga, and then you had 140.6 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was the North American World Championship. Or North American Championship, not North American World, but yeah.
When you had that Adidas thing in Boston, did you see that?
The Adidas Boost, run, where they. This is the second year I saw it, where they had the racetrack on the street.
It's a racetrack and it's just a straightaway.
Yeah,
super cool.
It was cool. Did you see how they actually?
No, I just somehow I missed that it was even happening.
Yeah,
and saw some replays. Saw the men's 100 meter final with Noah Lyles, and I'm drawing a blank on the guy that won. But
Noah Lyles didn't win.
No, got beat pretty bad actually. Whoa, yeah, dude went sub 10.
Well, Noah ran a few races. Well, they all ran prelims.
So both Lyle brothers were in it.
Yeah,
in the final. Yeah. So they were 2 of the 5 or 6.
But Noah got beat because he's supposed to be.
He got smoked pretty good actually.
World favorite. Wow, well, that's good. At least he got smoked by an American. Well, no, because I think Jamaica was also.
There was a Jamaican in the final, but he didn't. It wasn't him. God, I can't remember the guy's name.
There was a couple, like, you know, it's kind of, you see kind of the torch being passed. There was, like looking at some of like,
I mean, take it for what it is, though. The Boston thing, it's essentially cool. An expedition. I mean, so
I mean, there's no way you can get an actual, because they even had a 400-meter hurdle on, and it was just a straightaway.
Jeez.
So like they're talking about how these, you know, how this, you know, the setup was, because it was just, I forgot what street in Boston, but you know, they had it broken up for 100 meters and the 200, but then even the 400, could you imagine just a 400 just straight away and nothing but hurdles from the starting line? It looks like that's just never ending. And you could see just how at the end on the 400s, they were getting so gassed.
Yeah.
Because
they're used to running turns. Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of interesting.
That's
I would probably hate that. I don't know. What about you? I wouldn't think that would be fun.
What, just running straight?
400 straight, and especially if it was hurdles.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well,
because you probably have strategy in your mind. Like
hurdles in general are just, you know, that's never appealed to me in any way, shape, or form. But no, I think the strategy, what you just said, is very, very different, because there's a lot of these elite 400 runners that they just eat people up in the turns. Mm-hmm. And that's just all, you know, that's their entire deal. They want to get you in that final turn and you're done. So, I mean, that was kind of my thing too, racing the 800, those last two turns. And then the last 200 meters, I was going to try to just eat you for lunch.
Yeah. Rory Blake, he was notorious. So he and I ran the 800 quite a bit. And I mean, I just knew that if I could get in front of him and have enough cushion, I could win. I don't think that ever happened, because he and I were always neck and neck in running. And then especially when it came to 800 and sprinting, I mean, this guy, he was like,
yeah, he was fast, man.
And just, I remember watching him like on our relay team, that it was just cool. Like when you knew it was like the last 200 meters and there was somebody within, it was just the craziest shit you watch.
I mean, that dude he had some serious 400 speed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was the only distance runner that we had that would even dream of going down to run the 200 or, you know, the 200 or the 400.
I'm not sure if he did the 200.
He didn't do the 2, but he would go down and practice it every once in a while. I mean, because there was no way that Autry was letting any of us, me, you, Jesse, Joey, any of us go down to run the 4.
Yeah. But it's just cool, like you're mentioning. I mean, it's not cool, but just necessarily like how people have that type of strategy, like where turns, like that's just your thing. You come on that last turn or maybe the second to last turn.
Well, because the strength involved in it too, it's much different. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you are an excellent runner of the turns and you're already good in the straightaways, you're money.
Yeah.
And it's just a different thing. If you're just going straight shot, I mean, you try to sprint that like it's 100 or 200, you're done.
So I don't want to necessarily like make, you know, it like change the mood, but you know, there's also something that like is unheard of that happened in sports here recently, and the ultra marathon in China, where it was a 100K race and 21 ultra marathoners died in the race. And, you know, our prayers and, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with, you know, those athletes that, you know, survive, the ones that unfortunately pass, and their families. That having done an ultra marathon here recently and doing what I'm going to do in December, it's just put a lot of just things into perspective.
Yeah.
Reading like, I'm not sure if you read any stories like on the details. Could not imagine.
Yeah. And I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's unimaginable that something that we do because we love it. No one pays us to do this. I mean, no one's sure as hell paying us to do this podcast. No one's paying us to race or anything like that. You know, and these sports are expensive. But to have something that we love to do, and to know that there's, you know, that many people that are passing away doing something that they love, but passing away nonetheless. I mean, you just never think that is your day is going, you know, your race is going to end with you losing your life. Mm-hmm. I mean, and what you said, our thoughts and prayers and good karma and whatever else you might believe in, we're sending it all their way, because that is just, I was just absolutely stunned. I think like most of the running community was, to read that Sunday morning. It's just terrible. You just can't imagine that happening. I mean, I know it happens in triathlons sometimes, where, people drown or have heart attacks or whatever. And it happens in marathons too. People drop dead of a heart attack, or, usually.
Yeah, typically it's health conditions that
they just didn't know about. Yeah. But I mean, this was.
They were, so they were, it was only, so they were 12 to 13 miles into the race, and they were coming up on, from what one of the articles I read, they were coming up on one of the peaks, and the weather drastically changed, went to like just freezing temperatures,
hail,
wind, dark. I mean, just completely turned the weather upside down. And these people are wearing singlets, t-shirts, running shorts, and to get caught up in that just from like a light switch, it was just, you think about, and then, I mean, you think about as far as like, what would you do in the situation? And it sounded like that's what, all of them were doing, which were, retreating. I read where, a lot of athletes that were kind of like close to a cabin, they all ran into a cabin. There was actually there was one runner who got swept up by like it was like some type of animal herder. I don't want to say sheep because it could be an animal.
No, I saw that. And they put him in a cave. Yeah.
It was just
kudos to that guy. Because I mean, he saved several, didn't he? Mm-hmm. The herder.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What an unbelievable story.
So, just, I mean, I don't know what you say to that, but, again, it's just, life is definitely one where you just, I don't even know what to say, because that might have been the dumbest thing I said, but it was just, I closed my eyes when I read that story, and it was just like, my goodness, I'm going to be on the mountain, and I'm not going to take away anything, obviously, from what just happened, but got to be careful out there. Got to be careful. Yeah. And I know I put, and with this and what we do, we put our close loved ones at their, their mind's never at ease. Adria is always worried. Her between,
Kristen's convinced I'm going to drown.
I'm always injured.
Or get tattooed by a car.
Well, don't ever go riding alone. I would highly, I know you did recently, but
multiple times.
Be careful, be very careful, especially in the bike friendly town that we're in, because there's tons of videos from the riding groups around here that you get a bunch of dickheads out there that are just trying to prove a point. Anyways, we went from
Well, so I think like the rest of the running community and endurance community, we definitely send our condolences to all of those that were affected by the situation that happened in China with the ultra marathon. Definitely our hearts go out to them. So we'll way to go, Kevin.
No, I mean, since that's so recent, but
no, you definitely want to acknowledge it for sure.
There's, outside of that, let's just, let's have a good week, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take some time to relax, get the family batteries recharged, and be very appreciative of what you have. And, I'll do the same, and we'll reconvene and catch up. And,
so you guys, what are you guys doing? You got anything going on this weekend?
We thought about going, on the lake, taking the boat out,
nice.
But the weather is,
it's going to go from 94 degrees to 72 in like 48 hours.
So pissed.
Welcome to North Carolina.
I know. So the Indy 500 is actually on this Sunday.
Oh, I can't believe it.
So I'm going to be watching that for sure. That day, it will probably be the only day that I probably throw back some brewskis, because I want to try and get out Saturday for sure, do some runs. I don't want, and definitely Monday, take advantage of like the all day to get some like long training in. But it's going to be chilling, man. Chilling with the family.
just to backtrack a bit, there were 2 days last week I was asleep by 8:30.
Dude, that's a win.
2 days.
That's a freaking win.
Yeah, awesome.
You know what I get excited about?
I think one of them was Saturday. I thought I was going to catch a wild hare and, drink some beers and just kind of hang out. 4 beers, asleep by 8.
Yeah. Is Kristen pretty good as far as like, okay, I can go to bed now? Or is she like, what? I wanted to watch this movie or
she doesn't care.
You know what I like? Freaking Sundays. Going now that the sun stays up a little later. Going to bed on a Sunday with the house clean. Got my game plan for work already made. So I don't have to necessarily come into work on Monday rushing.
Yep.
And everybody's fed, everybody's bathed. I don't have a buzz because I didn't drink too much that Sunday afternoon. And it's still sunny outside or still light outside and I'm in bed.
Yeah.
Like I just love that on a Sunday. Like that's.
Yeah. Cause I mean, it's
because that means
Monday's like 8:30 now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I love that part. I love
having some energy waking up on
bigger training window.
Yeah. But I mean, some of you, what you're going to find out, I mean, probably not so much, but there'll be maybe a couple 2 days. And then sometimes if your day ends up having to be,
I did one today.
Yeah, no.
I did one on Saturday too. Did my first brick. Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll have to save that for next time. We're already 46 minutes in. Did my first brick on Saturday. It was awesome.
Yeah, next week you can be like, hey man, I did my first race. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You're doing like everything so fast. Slow your ass down.
If I could swim,
learn how to breathe when you're swimming, and you will definitely get there.
Are there any like 100-meter swim triathlons that I could sign up for?
There is there's the Rex Wellness triathlon series. I haven't seen it on the calendar yet, but they do a 200-meter.
Maybe I'm just a duathlon guy.
Run.
Bike, run. Yeah, maybe that.
A duathlon. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty
though.
Intense. I mean, yeah, you're not in the water. But those races are super fast.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably something cool to try. There's a carry duathlon.
Is there really? I have to look into that.
I think it's already passed. I believe. Usually, that's usually at the beginning of the season. So I think maybe in April it already came. But check. I know a lot of things were postponed.
I have to look into it. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a carry duathlon. Yeah, so no more brick workouts. No more.
I had to get one in.
No more 406 mile pace.
Well, that definitely didn't happen. But I did. Going back to the brick for a moment. So I did 9.5 miles on the bike. Got off the bike. Had all my run gear laid out in the garage. So
your own transition.
Yeah.
Is that or
so I run the bike up the driveway. I have my running shorts and my running shoes in the garage. Put the garage, push the buttons, make the garage door come down, get butt ass naked in the garage.
Man, I wish I had a garage key or a door opener.
Gross.
Well, not to see your ass. Yeah, I guess I did come off. Man, with my camcorder.
I knew it. But yeah, so I pull my running shorts on and wasted a lot of time because I forgot to loosen up my shoes. Slap those bad boys on, go out the door. I'm like half a mile in. I look at my watch, 6:35 a mile. Could not. I felt like I was running in quicksand.
Yeah.
So
how'd your thighs feel?
I mean, I felt fine. I felt like I was running in quicksand. So I understand why they call it a brick. Because I mean, it does. It's your legs are so heavy because they have all that blood in them from your cycling muscles. But man, I was cruising, and my heart rate was like 182.
I've always felt like after mile 1 is when I have my legs underneath me, where I'm no longer feeling like I've got fast tree trunks because, that's what ends up happening is you feel like you're running so slow because you're out of breath from cycling and now your legs are running in a running motion and you're like, man, this is going to be like a 9-minute mile. And you look down and it's like in the races, they're always so fun because they have each mile like marked off with a number 1 cone sign, whatever. And you get to the first one and you're like, holy shit, that was fast. And then you look at your time or your watch beeps and you're like, what? No way. And then now you're trying to be like, okay, I still got it, especially if it's a sprint, I've got a couple more.
Yeah.
You want to definitely kind of tone it down, especially if that's not the mile pace that you were targeting. Because then what I tell you, I will tell you what I feel like.
Only a 5K, it can't hurt that bad.
But I know how competitive you are. Oh, it is, because I feel like that last mile is where you can catch up to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Or like where you could just blow a gasket and then everybody's then's passing you. All right. Don't believe me.
That's not gonna happen. Okay. I'm not gonna sit here and show my ignorance. I just, if I can survive that damn swim.
You can. The thing is you've got the current. You're talking about the intercoastal, Riceville. We mean, maybe there's always a little current. That's the reason why
could be coming against us too, though.
No, that's the reason why you start that time in the morning, because of the way that the current's actually flowing, and then that's the reason why it's so long, is because it's 11:50.
Yeah.
So 7:50 is like kind of what they distance
the
for.
usual. Yeah.
So you've got an extra 400 meters that you're going to be floating.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
All right, but it'll be fun.
I float like a 10-pound weight straight to the bottom.
Don't be the one at this race where
I'm just gonna get a freaking snorkel.
You can't wear this. You can wear a snorkel mask. I see people sometimes wearing the actual like snorkel mask, and you just kind of look at them like, all right, it's your first one. and then you see the.
But they didn't forget their goggles.
I love it. Oh, I know.
Judging McJudgerson.
I know. Right? And judging. Took me. I do not judge. I love seeing that shit.
I judge like crazy.
I don't.
I know that sounds like I'm bragging about it, but I can't help it.
I like to laugh. That's judging. I laugh with them.
All right. Anyway,
we laugh together.
We've somehow managed to go 52 minutes, which
are we on a time clock?
It's not. No, but we weren't expecting this. Hey,
we've only been able we only paid up for an hour.
BuzzFeed's like, screw you guys, we gotta go.
Just fucking, it's our shit. This is our studio. We do whatever. Well, all right. So yeah, man. Enjoy.
Kevin didn't bring the wine this week.
Man, I wanted to. I told you.
Freaking
the day I'm gonna be drinking this weekend is on Sunday.
Don't push your sobriety on me, buddy. I'm your guest here, sir.
You know what? I think the reason why
I expect to be greeted with a glass of wine next time.
You know what? I shall. Because I think I say this shit because I know how much I really don't enjoy it. Because I say it so it's like the juice cleanse. Like, hey, I'm going to juice cleanse. I'm like, hey, this is the dumbest thing I've convinced myself to do. And I've got another one. Hey, I'm not having anything to drink on Memorial Day weekend. Just on Sunday. I know, right?
You're not
just on Sunday. I know. I'm tough. Tough to be around, man.
It's unfortunate you can't hear a head shake on a podcast.
It's a head shake of disappointment.
Total disappointment.
I
Whatever.
got a couple of those at work from the boss man. Got one of those when I walked in from Adria.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
It's just been like
just batting 1,000 today, huh?
Yeah. It's kind of what I'm good at. Head shakes.
That's why you got to keep the expectations low, buddy. If you keep the expectations low, easier bar to clear.
Well, until next time, I will make sure my expectations remain low. But
awesome. Well, guys, thank you for checking out the show. We're going to wrap it up here. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. You also give us the thumbs up on Apple Podcasts or 5 stars. Excuse me.
When do they start carrying thumbs?
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, but the 5 stars really help if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, leaving a review for us. You can also reach out to us on email at twodadsrun@gmail.com or gray@twodadsrun.com or kevin@twodadsrun.com. We're also on all the social medias. Two Dads Run Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I got that all right.
Ron Burgundy. Yeah.
Ron.
Facebook. Yes, we do.
Reads the punctuation. And
Yes.
as always, thank you to Eric Hollister, our awesome producer who has ridden the Raptor roller
Thank
coaster
you,
thing.
Eric.
I hope you guys stuck around on the last episode to hear the sound effects that he put in it. It was pretty damn funny. But he's ridden that roller coaster like 147 times now. So Eric, thanks as always for everything that you do for the show. And we will talk to you guys next week.